All righty. Welcome, everyone. We are back from Nationals.
We
As we
survived.
promised, we did survive. We're going to have Don Kadel on again, and this time we're going to ask pretty much all the same questions, but we're going to get it from a perspective of what it was like now that he's been through it.
Hmm.
On top of that, we're going to talk about what we saw at the show as well. So it started out as two separate shows, but due to some scheduling conflicts, we're going to combine it. So we might go a little over an hour tonight. Stay with us as long as you can or you want. That's totally up to you. Give us a like and a subscribe over on YouTube. There's the URL right there. And we're live with Donnie here. And let me get back into all of this. Getting banners going. We'll hide that right there and we'll drop that down. And let's add Don in. Hey
There we
Don,
go.
how are you?
Good.
What's up, man? How you
Well,
doing?
welcome back, everybody. Hi Jim, how are you? First of all, thanks for doing this two-part interview. I know that it's something a little bit different than we normally do, so thank you for doing that, Donnie.
Not a problem.
Um, First question. Well, I think we should just get right into it. What do you
Might as
think?
well rip the band-aid. Let's roll.
All right. Um, what were you looking forward to the most, and did that meet your expectations?
It did. I know I was going to see a lot of Hot Wheels, and I did see some Hot Wheels. I did see some cool stuff that I've never seen, like true real red lines, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Okay.
Nice.
Uh, yeah. Well, let's get into that one. What did you think of the room layout?
The room layouts were pretty cool on certain ideas that people had. I noticed in some rooms they had lights on the ceiling, which was really bright in a room, and that was really cool ideas. Um, I thought the lighting was pretty good, and how some of the stuff that some people had displays
Yeah.
had really cool displays.
It
Okay.
was it was
I
definitely neat the fact that they had all the extra lighting and things like that. But I think the part of that question was like the levels and like the hallways of the
Oh,
layout.
that
That
stunk.
that was horrible. I
That
don't
was
know
really
what they were
bad.
doing. I don't know what they were on when they built that hotel, but I mean I understand that you want everybody to get an arch view if possible, but whew, man, that was an interesting layout. It's like you walk down a hallway and you're like, wait, where am I heading? We got to go down that way, or is this way? Like by the end of the week, we kind of had it figured out. We found well, we didn't. We knew we figured out where the service elevators were and stuff like that. That helped out considerably, but yet it still didn't like make it perfect, so to speak. It was still kind of
so
a maze.
that
Yeah,
was
and
a
then the two elevators being out the whole time was not good.
Yeah.
yeah. Is that who's about to have the baby?
No, no, it's my brother.
Oh, your brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
My thing on the rooms was it felt like you were doing this over, up, over, that way. And it was crazy. Just the layout of it was something different for sure. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, Brent, you're completely right. LA has the best layout at that Marriott. It's a big square. You cannot go wrong
It's
there.
literally a rectangle with two sets of stairs on either end of the hall, so you can literally go. Say if you want to start on the 18th floor, you go to the 18th floor and you start in one area and you walk all the way around, and then you take a set of stairs and you go down. You walk the whole floor, go down. It's just all the way down. It's perfect, and it's just a great hotel. I have yet to see at Nationals that the hotels were easy to figure out. I mean, they're getting better, but I still think what was it, Columbus, where you had to like go down to get to back to the lobby to go over to the other half of the building just to go
No,
back
that
up
was
to.
Charlotte.
Charlotte, that one sucked.
Okay. Also, moving on here. How many hours did you actually spend hunting per day?
A lot more than I thought I was going to.
And
I would
why was that?
say I'd say probably 6 to 8 hours a day or more.
Yeah, it adds up quick when you don't realize it. You know, you're just out having fun, and you know, before you realize, you're like, man, I didn't eat lunch today. Hold on, wait a minute. It's a good time though.
Yeah. Yeah, then I rent in the same room like 2 times and I walk in, I'll be like, oh, I was in here, and half the people were really nice. They're like, well, welcome back again.
Oh yeah, and the thing is sometimes you know you walk into a room, you're like, oh, I've been here before, but I didn't see that the last time I was here, and you end up buying another piece from some, you know, for the same guy. There was one room I literally was in, and I walked away after I bought something, and then I met, I think it was Ken or Nick, and we went back into that room, and I bought something else again like 5 minutes later that I missed the first time. So
Yeah,
it
that
happens quite
happens.
frequently.
Okay. All right.
What's up, Scott? How you doing?
Scott, how are you? Next, moving on. Uh, which designer or Hot Wheels personality uh, did you like the most, or was the most that you ended up meeting like made the biggest impression on you?
Well, I wouldn't say, I don't, well, I finally met, I know he's not a designer or that, but I met Mike Zernock, and he was a very nice guy, very nice to talk to him. Um, and then I got to visit with Lee Allen a little bit, and then I got to also visit with Chris Dangler too.
There you go.
Okay.
But if I wanted to meet anybody, I could probably just hang out in Lee Allen's room because everybody was coming there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lee's
yeah.
very popular.
Lee has got a very popular room. There's no way to put it. So, and he does amazing work, so that always helps out too.
We're doing well, Scott. We're doing well. It was good seeing you also this week for the like 2 or 3 seconds because everybody's running around.
Yeah, it was a very busy week. There wasn't a lot of standing still.
No. Okay. Did you go to any of the off schedule events during the week? You know, like the Hardy Adams, the BPLA, War Games, Guys Pizza, Lunch Bash, or
I
any
wanted to
other
do
ones?
I wanted to do the lunch bash, but I had a little episode, so I didn't get out to do it quite as much as I really wanted to do.
Okay.
Period.
Did you get to do any of those?
I did not.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, there's always Dallas.
Yeah.
I know, and the good news is, I'll go ahead and tell everybody the secret. The wife says she is not letting me go by myself next time she wants to go, and we're bringing Noah with us.
There you go.
Yay. That's
Look at
awesome.
that. One
So
time, and she's hooked, and she wasn't even there.
That's
yeah,
usually how that mess works.
she wants to go, and then what we're gonna do is before everybody else starts getting down there, we're gonna sneak down to Galveston for a day and let her go on the beach.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. That's
Can't go
awesome.
wrong with that.
Okay. So, what are your impressions of now that Dallas has been announced as the next location? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's awesome because I've always wanted to go to Dallas, Texas, and I've never had an opportunity until coming up next year.
Provided we all get tickets.
This is
Yeah,
true.
that's another thing.
Yeah, because now we just start back over again, and the fight begins round. I don't even know what round we're on now. I've done
Round
a few
two
of
for
these.
me.
I've done a few of these, and that's the thing is one thing you will start to find out is, you know, you go to a lot of these things, and you know, I mean, like I haven't even brought down.
See, he's disappearing again.
I do this, but I was gonna say. So,
Well, while he's waiting to find whatever he is.
no, I was gonna say like I haven't brought down my one from St. Louis yet, but you know, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, St. Louis was number 7 for me. It's like these things start growing like weeds, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah. Before we get into Jim's question, I wanted to follow up with you, Donnie. Um, is there anything that you're looking forward to seeing in Dallas that you have not seen yet? Because you said you haven't been there before, so it's just kind of
Uh,
curious.
just I think it'd be cool to see something different in a different state than I'm used to seeing in every state I've basically stayed in or been in. Like in St. Louis, it was cool to see the Arch
Yeah.
Okay.
and eat at a couple different restaurants. Don't ask me the names of them because I couldn't tell you. I know one was a taco house, and it was actually different.
Was that over by the ball stadium?
Yes.
It was
Yeah, we
called
ate
like
there.
Tornadoes or something like that.
Yeah, and it had a
Yeah.
bunch of cool designs on the walls and stuff.
Yep, that would be the one we're talking about.
Yeah, that was a good place. Also, Chili Max was really good too.
They
Mm-hmm.
were.
Breakfast was outstanding, and they took such good care of folks from that. And then Joe and Joe and Lori Finsky hooked them up with a set of convention cars. So that was really cool and nice of them to do that for taking care of us as well. And when I say us, I mean the entire convention attendees. So that was really nice of them to do that. I know in Dallas, there's obviously the Kennedy assassination site is literally right down the road from the Reunion Arena Hotel. Now, I'm not saying that's where it'll be at next year, but that's where it was in 18, and it was literally blocks away. Also, they have a park with statues of cows on a cattle drive that is blocks away too, and that was a pretty cool thing to see. I hadn't seen that since I was there back in the late 90s when I visited my aunt. Now, as far as Jim's question goes, yes, I'm excited to go back to Dallas. There's lots of good, happy memories there. Mainly the one that you meant that Jim mentions. I did propose to Robin down there, and there is video evidence that she said yes. So that would be that I'm looking forward to. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to be in the same hotel, but it would be kind of cool to kind of recreate a picture or something. I'm not saying that that's going to happen either. But yeah, overall impressions of going back to Dallas. Yeah, it's a 12-hour car ride, but I'm looking forward to that. We get to stop down through Kansas, Oklahoma. It's a pretty easy drive. So with that, I'm excited about. Okay.
Definitely an easy drive. I've done it before, but it took forever because there was a crash. So we had a 2-hour delay for that one.
Okay. How much sleep did you actually get per night? Actual sleep.
Well, besides the episode, I'd say probably 3-4 hours.
Is that a little surprising?
Not really. I'm used to running on no sleep half the time.
Gotcha.
If Noah was here, I'd point the camera at him, but he's a good baby. He sleeps all night, so
Nice.
I just wake up and check on him, and so
Rotate.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the going average was I think we almost got up to 5 a couple of times, but it was mainly 3 to 4 instead of 3 to 5. About 3 to 5 hours of sleep was roughly the almost every single night. It was I know when I got back here to the house, I went to bed about midnight, and I think I woke up at almost 10 o'clock. But I slept for like 10 hours straight. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon. I hope I sleep through the morning, but if we get tickets, we'll be flying to that one. Yeah, and that's another thing is you kind of got to weigh it out. Is it going to be more? Is it going to be cheaper to just jump on a plane and go whoop, and pop down to Dallas because that's a direct flight, which kind of makes me want to. I mean, I will look into it if it's going to be. If I can fly a round trip for $200, Y'all have fun driving for 12 hours. I'm just gonna hop a plane to be there, and I'll get all the deals before you guys get there. So, but yeah, I mean, I like road tripping, but I also drove for what 8 out of the 12 hours going to.
Yeah.
I do a lot
Yeah.
of
It was
driving,
rough.
so
It was rough.
I'm always up for a little bit of a road trip. But
Okay. Let's see here.
before we move on, I just found something that we didn't
Oh,
we didn't really show, and I haven't seen any of them posted yet, but we do have a few left. So come find us in Lincoln tomorrow, or do you want me
Sunday.
to wait? Sunday
Sunday.
in Lincoln, because
Yeah, just show it.
we did something special for the St. Louis convention for the first time at Nationals. We had custom St. Louis stickers made. Now, granted, they don't say St. Louis on them, but we made Blue Ducks. Blue officially got his own sticker this week, in the last week. So we have a few of these left. There's not very many. I know that they have made it to. I know that Blue Duck sticker is in at least 2 different countries right now. So that's always
Yeah.
kind of cool. 'Cause I know
Made it to Europe.
Yep, it went to Europe and it went to Germany. So, but yeah, there's like when I say there's not a lot left, I mean like I have 6, and I think Kent has like 8 or 10 left, and that's
9.
9. Okay, so we have 15 of these left.
Yep.
We started with 100 of them, so 85 of these Blue Ducks got handed out, and you got one right, Donnie.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there's only 14 Blue Ducks left because Donnie was a convention goer, so he has to get one. So
Yeah.
Donnie's is set aside now, so there's 14 left. So
Okay. Let's see here. Did you go to any of the scheduled events, like any of the seminars, the auction, the coloring
I was
contest
trying.
finale?
I was trying to do that Thursday and Friday, but that was the episode, and I was kind of trying to stay close to room.
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
hear you.
So yeah, I scared some other people, I guess.
Yeah.
Episodes tend to do that.
But
Did you go to the finale? Well, you had to go at least to get your cars.
I went in there for a second, and then I got sidetracked. I think that was very easy to do because I was actually Saturday. I was actually feeling great, and I was running around joking around like I usually do my joking self, and I kind of lost track of time.
That'll happen.
I was wondering where everybody was because I got up and down the elevator so much.
Yeah, everybody was in the finale.
Okay. So how many cars did you actually end up in your collection?
In my personal collection, I'm glad you asked that question because we'll touch on that other topic Sunday. But I bought 5 cars from my collection.
5?
I found my tow truck I've been looking for 3 years.
I was going to ask you about that because you were so excited because you ended up finding me. We were in the waiting area in between the 2 elevators on, I can't remember which floor, but you were so happy because you had just found it and you're like super happy with the price on it too, I think.
Yeah.
What was that car? And
that
do you
was
have it available to show?
Yep. I got to get up here. I'm trying not to show off my ear, I guess. All right. We'll turn that light on because it's kind of dim in here.
We're going mobile.
Ooh, mobile. The red tow truck.
Oh, that's the heavy
I
hitcher.
like that one. I actually have
the heavyweighter. And then
Heavyweighter.
I have the blue one. I think it's a little bit newer, but
they were about the same time roughly.
But one of those is a convention one.
yeah, it was the red one is.
Yep.
Yep. And then I did find this.
Oh, nice.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's hard to find anything with Cooter.
Yeah, I can see that.
Trying to think what else. That's 2 there. The third one that I found, I thought it was really cool. Now I gotta get on my step stool.
Short people problems.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that too.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
cool one. I like that one.
I thought that was one of my, that was a cool one. And granted, it's an M2, but I've been looking for this one.
That
If
doesn't
the
matter.
camera,
The
Oh, is
IROC
it
or
the
the
black
the
Coke?
Coke or the
nope, the bottom one, the yellow one, the shell.
Oh, the
nice.
shell one. Nice.
Yeah, I like that one. That looks good.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find it around here and couldn't find it. So I'm like, you know what? I found it there. I was happy. Okay, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to think where I put the fifth car at. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I found it.
Oh,
There you go.
very nice.
Yeah. See, and I had my shopping list in my head, and I bought one revealer that got me a little bit closer to completing the series. I didn't see any top speed cars. I never saw the power command I needed. I did see the Japanese 83, but I did not pull the trigger. But I did buy an NFT and a bunch of random stuff, so it worked out in the end. I'm still happy with what I got. I mean, I have 7 cars sitting in front of me to rip open tonight, and there's probably another at least 50 or 60 upstairs that I brought home. So
I think I ripped about 30 before that nobody got to see except for Brent.
I didn't even
And
see it
then
because I was like, "What are you doing?"
I've got another, I don't know, 30 or 40 cars to do yet later.
Oh, I forgot. I did forget one here.
Oh,
Oh, it's
you
up to 6.
Okay.
Look out!
wait.
It's up to 6. Look out!
I got
Oh,
this for Noah. It's the one with no face.
nice!
Oh,
Congrats.
okay,
That's cool.
nice.
And then I got,
Ooh,
Oh, you got the one with the,
nice.
yeah,
I
there
seen a
you
guy
go.
that had a bunch of those. Like there was one guy that posted he had like 30 in a room, and I was like, "What the?"
that's
And
that's probably the guy.
yeah, I thought about it, and I was like, I thought about it too long, basically, and then I forgot about the guy's room, and it is what it is. You know, if I ever find one, I will find one. But if I don't, I don't. It's not the end of the world. I would love to have that one in my collection, so I know that for sure.
Yeah, I try to collect all the Transformer stuff for him just in case he likes them.
Yeah.
So I got him his own little collection going on. So
There you go.
Can't go wrong with that. Did anyone from the club win anything while at nationals from racing to customizing? No, I
And
think
we had no winners this year. Now,
no. I mean,
that doesn't mean, oh,
we
go
had a
ahead.
great showing, and we had great rate. You know, Dell was running races. I know his Sizzler came off the track, and the spotters didn't catch it, and it sat for I think he said it was 6 or 7 laps by the time they finally noticed and caught it and got it back on the track. So that didn't happen, and then the customizing contest. We'll have to share the videos that Connie posted on her page, or they're on CEU's page. I can't remember which, but the custom contest was insane. What's up, Joe? I need to get with you later and get your address. Can barely hear me. Well, that makes me wonder. Hello? No, I'm just kidding. But no, I need to get your address, Joe, so I can send you that them pins and stuff I got for you. Yeah,
Okay.
we did not take home the hardware this year like we planned, but we still had a blast. So
I will say that from a standpoint of recognition, we didn't, like Brent said, we didn't come home with the hardware, but I definitely feel like Nick Artery gained a substantial following out of nationals. His entry into uh, the rocket oil was tremendous, and it sold for 300, and that was pretty awesome in and of itself. I mean, it's still right here. I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, it's still on the shrink wrap and everything. So the pictures are on our page. They don't do it justice, but I am
slightly.
looking very forward to finding a more permanent home for this in my room or my curio cabinet. with that being said, I was really happy for Nick and all the customizers who did the challenge because they got to get their names out there. Most of them were pretty well known anyway, but they raised a significant amount for the charity, along with the club car exchange too at the chapter meeting. That was awesome as well. Mm-hmm. I posted pictures today. I don't know where it's at right now, availability wise to show it, but we received a cool combi in blue. And then we also got the Dixie Hot Wheel Club, which is out of Beckley, West Virginia. We got their Roger Dodger that was done by Chris Stangler. So we're coming home with 2 Stangler cars. The combi will be auctioned off on the page. All the proceeds from that car go to the clubs. That's what those charity club, or not charity, the club exclusive cars are for. They're meant to raise money for the clubs so that it can help offset costs. So that was pretty cool. All right, so moving on here. What did the prices come out the way you expected? Were they higher? Were they lower? Were you disappointed, surprised? All of the above?
I'd say maybe all the above. There were some couple things that I seen that were like the super treasure hunts were kind of pricey, but there's some things that were just cheap. Mm-hmm. So like that tow truck I got, that Cooter's tow truck, it was $10.
Nice. Did you find it easy to negotiate with people? Were they open to that?
Most people were, honestly. Like the tow truck, I talked to him. The only confusion in the room was there was a guy and his wife in there, and I gave him the money, and she wasn't for sure if I gave him the money, and he was busy with other people. Thankfully, Chad Lucero was in there.
I think I know.
And he goes, Donnie's a great guy. You could trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the funny thing is, I think I know which room you were in.
It was the very first room I think I actually walked in, and I found that tow truck right away.
Nice.
So,
nice. Okay. Did you see everything that you thought you were expecting to see? You kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, or was there something in there I thought I'd never see that and it showed up, or man, I thought that would be there and it wasn't?
of course, I didn't get to go in every room because I went to the same room a couple times, but there was like some of the red lines that, like I said, I've never seen in my life, and I thought those were pretty cool. Didn't get none, but they were pretty cool to look at. Nice.
All right. Again, we are taking questions, so if anybody wants to throw one up there for Donnie, go ahead. Did you get a cupcake?
I did not. She was sold out by the time I got there, so I know the mistake not to do next time.
What day did you get there?
We got there on Wednesday.
And she sold out on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that part, but
I want to say it was early Wednesday, I think is when she sold out.
Yeah, because I didn't go up there because I went and got the card first and got registered and everything else, and then I went up there and they were sold out.
Yeah, okay. I was fortunate enough that because I pre-ordered my cupcakes, and I was able to get not only my cupcakes, I got one of Carly's custom bugs. It's one of 3. And I got a t-shirt from him, and I got an autographed e-sheet from him, and a patch. So I was very happy that I completed everything, and that was the first room I walked into. Because that was my thing. It's like, I got to get to Carly's room because I wanted to get one of the bugs. I should run up and grab the bug because it's really freaking cool.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Next time, pre-order cupcakes.
Yes, definitely
pre-order
cupcakes.
I think if I had one of those cupcakes, I probably wouldn't have no issues.
Probably. Okay. Did you end up selling out of your room at all?
A little bit.
What was that experience like? Because I've never done it.
It was actually a pretty cool experience because you got to meet some people that you never see, talk to, find out what they like, find out what cars they collect, and it was actually not too bad.
Okay, that's good.
It would have been better if I'd had some tables.
What's that?
We used a coffee table, and
Yeah,
we could use it in there.
every flat surface possible.
I used the ironing too.
I saw that, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Would you ever fly now that you've been to one? And why would you or why wouldn't you fly?
If I can drive, I will probably drive because I've never flown before, and I don't know. My dad said that he thinks I would like it because it's like getting in a drag car.
This is true.
So
This is true. Yeah, and then there's one of the cupcake bugs.
it's cool.
Yeah, it was definitely one of my really wanted. He had some 57 Chevys, but I had to have the bug. And the neat thing is the heart, all of the sprinkles and the white on the hood and the trunk were all hand painted. That is the Tampo there. And then there's another logo. It's down there. But the neat thing is one of three. So that was pretty cool. I was happy to get this one.
Okay. Now, did you meet your meal requirements? And I guess what I'm saying is, did you go to the store and have like sandwich stuff ready for you? Did you go out? Did you miss meals?
I probably missed meals, but they were a little bit later than usual. Well, I don't know. I eat at weird times anyway, being a tow truck driver that I am. But I wasn't going to eat out as much as I actually ate out because I ate at the cafe, which had really good breakfast, Chili Max.
Mm-hmm.
I ate at the restaurant. There was one of the restaurants in the hotel. I can't think of what that one was called. It wasn't the steakhouse, and it wasn't their restaurant.
It was the bar place.
The bar.
At the bar place, they had a chicken pot pie, and it was probably the best chicken pot pie I've had ever.
Nice.
I had the
Good.
It was like a, I want to say it was like a brisket grilled cheese sandwich, and I think I had that twice, and I had the burger once, and we had Chili Max, and we went to the taco joint, and so apparently I only ate like 5 times.
Well, you had you shared wings with Deb one night too.
Wings. That was the night I had the burger.
Because
and I forgot we ordered wings at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Those were good. I enjoyed those.
Yeah, I don't know where you found that place, but praise Jesus.
On the internet, man. Just Ubered it to the hotel. So.
Okay. Did you meet your step goal?
I probably was way over that. Wife was joking with me and said she wished she would have gave me one of the watches or something, and just to see how much I actually walked.
2 a.m. wings, awesome. Yeah,
how were your legs and feet after each day? Were they pretty sore? Were they, it's like, oh, it's nice to get out of these shoes.
It was nice to get out of the shoes. There was one time I actually walked around with my sandals on because it felt so good. They weren't really. I don't know. Maybe just how much excitement I was going through. I did feel a little sore when I got home.
Yeah, once the adrenaline wore off.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You got to taste some White Castle, didn't you, Brent?
Yeah, it was not bad.
I didn't. I mean, he had some. I mean, Caven came in and had a big old box of it, and they're like this, so it's like eating at Crystals, but probably different. But no, it was. I didn't get to go it. Brent says it was pretty good. Are you glad that you attended this year to go to nationals?
Yes.
Why?
It was fun learning experience on everything that you could learn. I'm sure I could have learned more. That's why I'll save that for this coming up year.
Okay.
If I get tickets.
If we get tickets, yeah,
Yep.
that's always the big is. Did you figure out what it meant to have a car hanging around your neck, and did you accomplish a trade or anything like that, or buy?
I actually didn't have one around my neck, but I did see a lot of other people having them around their neck. And I knew one person actually had the same car twice because they end up doing trades on the same car.
Nice.
Not the same car, but the same different one.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you gain any networking contacts?
I got some different kind of card people that had cards, so I could contact them.
Nice. Did you get a bunch of stickers?
I did get some stickers.
Yeah, that seemed to be the big thing.
Like
what was the best one you got?
That thick.
I would have to say, I don't even know where it's at. I can't show it because I think it's locked in my little drawer of my convention drawer now.
Yeah,
But,
nice.
I really liked it. It was one of I think it was the General Lee sticker from Lee Allen.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I
like that one.
So
I got that floating around. Okay. Did you get any rope cars given to you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I ended
All right.
up with 2 rope cars.
Yeah, one of them was quite hilarious. Dave Baumgardner. I showed it to him, and he just laughed. He's like, a good thing I didn't show him the Volvo pin.
No, definitely not.
All right, so last question. Now that you've gone and done a nationals convention, what does it mean to you now since you've actually been through the process?
I would networking, meeting new people. Basically, I would say it's kind of like a big fellowship type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that. I can go with that.
100%.
So, would you go again?
Yes.
Okay. If you get tickets to Dallas, what's something that you would like to do that you didn't do this time?
I would like to do some of the events.
Okay.
And I will not make the same mistake as I made this time.
And what was that?
I have problems sleeping in a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I did that, and I shouldn't have did that.
So you learn.
Yep, exactly. It's just a lesson learned.
Live and learn.
Yep.
So I had any questions? Was there like you saw something and you were like, I really want to buy that, but I'm not. Was there any of those kind of things? Like, not
Everyday room.
Everything. There was something. Everything. I hear you, and that's the thing is it's so overwhelming when you walk into some of these rooms and when you're literally going room to room to room to room, and for those that have never done it and haven't seen it on that large of a scale, it's a whole other animal when you walk into a room and it's like, all right, I'm either going to be in and out. Basically, you either walk in a room and you're just like, "Woo, this is going to take a minute," and you're in there for 15 minutes, or you literally can walk in and go, "I'm good," and you walk right back out. Because there was rooms that were both. I mean, there was guys that had like a small table set up, and there was maybe 12 cars on it, and then there's those rooms you walked in, and there was literally like 3,000 or 4,000 cars in the room. So Yeah, it's neat to, you know, have you ever seen anything on that level before? Like with the room to room, like, because I know that you've been to a couple other smaller shows that had that kind of styling before, but did it even compete to that level?
No, because it was like a really, really, really big Hot Wheel show.
Hmm.
To me, that's what it felt like, a big, big Hot Wheel show.
Which, I mean, technically that's exactly what it was, but you know, like I just know that you've been to some smaller toy shows and stuff that had room to room trading before, and you know, I just was curious on how it leveled out versus that because I know a lot of the guys and girls and ladies in this area have been to a smaller shows that had some room to room trading, but when you go to that convention level where there's literally hundreds and hundreds of rooms, it kind of like ups the ante on it to the point where you never know what you're going to find when you walk into the next room. I know that I found a couple of really cool pieces that I had actually been hunting for. You walk into a room and spend all your money for a week in one spot. It's only Wednesday. Amen to that, Joe. Because I actually got really lucky. And mute yourself, Kent, or something, because it is really loud in there. Uh, like this was one of my happy ones that I found.
Oh,
This
that's cool.
this was the last one of these that I needed, and this one is from 2002. So this thing is 23 years old. And the neat thing about this little Nomad is I can actually reach one because I have one behind me. We'll use the MEA Halloween one. So you know they look like just regular, but they're actually reversed and they actually open up from the back, and they're just epic. So this one was the last one that I needed, and I don't know if I'm gonna open it yet or not because it's from the Wild Weekend of Hot Wheels East Coast Convention that was held in Windsor, Connecticut back in June of 2002. This was the official convention car. I don't even know if Collectors Events was doing that at all. Okay, Ken, what did you do that changed? Because it's super loud on your end now.
I didn't touch anything.
Like the audio like got turned up or something.
I don't know.
See, now it's fine. That's pretty
Oh, I bet it's that paper I have sitting on there.
cool. And then my other happy find for the week was this one. This was from my first convention. This was October 3rd through the 7th, 2018. This is number 31 of 500. This is the um, what is this? Is the Boss Hoss Mustang? I can't remember what they call this thing. Custom Mustang, and this is a this is a Chris Walker piece. This was the only one of these that I was missing from 18 onward. I have all of them from either Nationals and LA. I have all of them, and it's like a $200 car. And I walked into a room, $50. And the crazy thing is, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's number 31 of 500. Now, granted, that's just a sticker on a cube, so it doesn't mean anything to me. But having this meant something to me. So this was the one of the last. This was the last one that I was missing. So those were my two like kind of holy grail finds. Like those, the Nomad and the Mustang were the two that I was super excited about. Let's see. So when at a convention or nationals, do you get upset at missing something when someone buys the whole room before everyone shows up? No, because you don't know what was in the room most of the time. And occasionally, say if the Mr. Thompson from the Mafia, if he buys out a room, you go to his room and he has the cheap. Like basically, what those guys do, it doesn't matter if it's Jason or Chad or the other Chad or anybody else that buys rooms out at nationals or even at convention level. They normally put stuff in their room and then they might have like a surplus corner where there may be stuff like, you know, this is a pretty good example. It's just a little 100%er car they might have these. There might be 20 or 30 of these for $5. I know I picked up something out of his room. I don't
Those
remember.
those Dodges came out of there.
One
The
of
one
them
year,
did.
yeah.
I think the silver one did. No, I don't know. It might have been the red one. It was one of these two. I bought at a Thompson's room because I didn't have either one of them. But I found one earlier. I found the silver one in another room. It was the red one I got from the Mafia. You know, and it does. Some people might say, "Oh, it sucks that they bought up all the good stuff before everybody got there." No, because if I remember correctly, I think Thompson said he bought 15 rooms, and there was literally 200 to 300 rooms. So, you know, they're going to sell it anyways. Exactly, Joe. Everybody's going to just turn around and sell it. And sometimes, if they get a good enough deal, sometimes the prices are just too hard to pass up. I know we were in, I want to say, Mike Bunge's room in Atlanta, and he had RLC and convention pieces. Obviously, not like $300-400 ones, but they were anywhere between 30 to $50, and he had them in a $20 pile. And I mean, I walked in and I ended up buying $100. I bought 5 cars for my private collection that are worth. They were all worth at least $30 to $50 a piece. So. Yeah, yeah. You normally can get a lot of good deals after that. So.
Yeah,
Those guys are
definitely.
looking to turn and burn. So the faster they can get rid of it, the faster that makes them happy. So.
I think I bought 4 Dodge Chargers out of Thompson's bargain room that were from this holiday set from like 2005, 2006 at $5 a piece. And getting a real rider for $5, how do you turn that down? You
Especially one
can't.
that you're looking for. So.
Yeah, definitely true. What did you think of the convention cars? That's one question we didn't really get to ask. What were your impressions of them?
I'm gonna be the weird one probably out of this, but I'm gonna say I did like the Mazda, which is the charity car, and I did like the Power Wagon.
Oh yeah, the Monza, and then the Power Wagon. That Chevy Monza pictures do not do that thing justice. Um, the paint job on that was I'm not. It was stunning, and the Power Wagon was really cool. And the fact that the Power Wagon came with the patch, it just elevated it a little bit farther. Um, I I kind of got to agree with you on that one, Donnie. I think it's a toss up between the Power Wagon and the Monza.
Don't get me wrong, the 240 looked good, but I like the Power Wagon. Of course, I'm kind of I kind of like Chevy Dodges, but
Yeah,
No, there were all. I mean, I'm just picky, or not picky. I like any convention car really
yeah.
because
But if you had to pick your top two,
my top 2. Okay.
yeah, there you go. We'll force you to give us a legitimate
Well,
answer.
obviously, this was number 1 right here.
Yeah,
This is way more different than what we thought we were going to get. I'm super happy with it. I know the blister is not helping right now, so we'll try to fix that for everybody. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. So
I'd say save it for a hang tag since ours got stolen.
well, we got a new one. We'll talk about that too. I was surprised that ended up
It
going
didn't make
missing.
it until I think Thursday before somebody lifted it finally. Granted, it was the pink's. It was the pink party
Skyline.
R34 card back, so we kind of knew it wasn't going to stick around all week.
Okay, so
You winning or
there it
losing,
is.
sir?
I'm losing.
There you go.
I just think this car is just Absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. There is the engine
Yeah,
as well.
They did a really good job on that one, and it has, I think, new wheels too. Doesn't it?
No, they're painted differently.
Oh, I thought they were different wheels.
No, these are on the Range Rover from one of the car culture sets is on these. But yeah, I love the bottom of this car as well. The other one, I think people are going to be surprised at which one I pick here. My initial thoughts going into the week was obviously the 240. Super clean car. But I'm going to go with this, the Pink Party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
that one is definitely on the clean side.
I definitely have to throw one back for myself.
hey, we got a new.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting left out here. Got all these cars I've been looking at for a week, wanting to open them.
I'm slowly losing this battle.
So while we wait for Kent to lose the battle over here, did you guys stop anywhere like on the way down or on the way back and do some hunting or anything like that?
Gas and well, on the way home, I was ready to be home, so gas and go.
Yeah, we were actually.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell it after he's done showing it. I think it's gorgeous.
it is.
I have to.
Yeah.
I got an extra one of those. I mean, I have to pop that one open.
That's
I need
one.
to find a
Just 'cause it
third
looks
one.
Sweet. I think I know a guy. But like on our way down, we literally stopped and we got we used the restroom and we got gas and I actually bought two Maisto haulers at the truck stop. One had a Impala lowrider on it, and the other one had a Caprice on it. So I got an '87 Caprice lowrider, and I got I want to say a '59 Impala lowrider, or it might have been a '64. Can't remember off the top of my head. And then on the way back, we hit a different gas station, and I found some green lights that I didn't have. So I picked up a Blazer and all things and a New York Fire Department Ford Bronco, like '96. I was like, that's freaking cool. Well, that's a
Okay. Yeah, so Jim's touched on something that did happen at the finale. I wouldn't say so much it was crickets as much as it was a lot of encouragement from Brendan.
It was. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like JDM cars just as much as most people do, but in the end, I'm a diehard Detroit Iron. Give me some big old muscle cars. And I don't know if you saw this, Jim, or not, but they're doing a Pro Street Nova coming out with the whole front clip that's removable. That was the highlight of the night, in my opinion, from the crowd. That was one of the last ones that they showed, and the crowd went absolutely insane. So hopefully, I mean, I understand. I mean, I like I said, I like JDM cars, but we can use a break from the JDM life a little bit. I think. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's every single thing has got a JDM car in it, and it's not everybody collects that stuff. So yes, thank you, Kent. The Fisher Price telephone car is epic. I'm excited to get the telephone. And there was another one too. I can't remember what
The Monaconecco cat car with the
Oh yeah, with the little
arm
hand that waves. Yes, the
as
cat
you
and
move
the
it.
phone. Yeah, the phone and the cat. Those were cool. The cat, I'm definitely or not the cat. I want to get the cat anyways, but I want the telephone because I just think that's cool.
That Fisher Price telephone car went. Everybody was like, "Yeah!" That was it was awesome.
Getting
And
a
yes,
thumbs
I will
down
put
from
that
Joe.
back up for Joe. No, those were the two big things that I saw. They
oh yes,
they
the
did
bat boat. I forgot
the
about
bat
the bat
boat was there.
Yeah.
The Chevy, the 59 or 60 Chevy wagon that's getting ready to come up. That was pretty sweet to see in person, along with the 4-door Mercedes that's coming out on Tuesday.
Yep, gonna get me a couple of those.
Those were both cool too.
I think what else? Oh, they're doing a bunch of new Racerverse stuff. They're
Mhm.
doing some Toy Story stuff for Racerverse. They are doing some Star Wars stuff, but I've never seen Star Wars, so eventually I got to get on that. Man, there was so much. There were so many cool things that were on display or in the autograph sessions and stuff like that. That was just, and that was the thing is, one of the guys had like, it was something, and then he had all the top speed or all the racer
This
cars.
Acceleracers. That was the
Yeah,
other.
they had the Accelerator because he had both of them. He had the Acceleracers and he had the Racerverse cars. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And he goes, yeah, we're bringing them back. I'm like, nah, I'm talking about the Racerverse over here. I'm like, it's freaking Toy Story. And I was just nailing. And then he was like, okay. And he understood where I was coming from then. And then we talked about all the Racerverse stuff for a few minutes. So yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff coming out.
All right. That's all the questions that I had for Donnie. We're not ending the show because we're going to actually go into convention stuff, and we'll rip some more.
I'm gonna rip something real
Well, you can rip something now.
All right.
Donnie, we'd like to
54.
thank you for being on the show tonight and taking the time out of your schedule for doing that twice in 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for being our guest. But you got anything for anybody before we let you go?
Nope, but then
Unless he wants to hang out, he doesn't have to go.
This is true. Man, I thought I was struggling.
did the car just fall out of there?
I had
So this
plastic
one
on this hand and plastic on this hand, and the truck is over there, and the tonneau cover is over there.
So this one time in Atlanta, I did the same thing with the gasser. That was funny.
Thankfully, I have carpet on my floor here, so hopefully I didn't hurt.
That was not carpet. That was tile. That was not good. But it bounced and did not get scratched, so I was happy about that.
I just don't know why I had to drop the Silverado. How does this thing work? It's like the Revell. It's positionable. Score. I don't know. There we go.
That's pretty sharp.
I think it's gorgeous. And then, like I said, it has positionable axles, so you can actually like raise the rear and have the front down, or you can push that down. And I don't like the fact that the tonneau cover comes off. But yeah,
Nice.
And the camera does not do this thing justice. The paint on this is stunning. Ooh, that's nice.
As he's looking at it and not really showing anybody.
Sorry. Like I said, the camera is not going to... We don't need that tonneau cover anymore anyways.
Apparently not.
We'll just take it off. But yeah, like the pinstripe is... Like, that's cool. Yeah, that's going to have to find a hole on the wall.
All right. So I think we got that all part taken care of. And what I want to do here real quick before we got into our full on blitz for nationals.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to show something. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know what you were doing. Well, while we wait for him to figure out what he's doing, I'm going to rip the other one of these that I bought. And it was not another truck. It was a 1987 Buick Regal. And it has a much plainer paint job on it. Oh, yeah. What are we doing on Sunday, Kent?
Well,
Hey, Donnie, I think you're going to be there too, aren't you?
Yep.
I about threw that one too.
this Sunday, May 4th, from 9 to 2 at Superior Bingo Hall, Brad Beebe will be hosting his show. It's the first show back in the area that's going to be happening in our area, although that's not the only show going on this weekend. So, again, it's $2 to enter. 12 and under are free. Get in touch with Brad. I don't know if there's any tables left, but if there are, please reach out to him, as he will be the one that will know what's going on. This is usually a pretty good show. It's a pretty full show. Lots of good different vendors from all across the state of Nebraska. Come out and support that. Okay, so the other thing that is going on this weekend, as we put Donnie back in the middle, is out in Ohio. Our good friends from the Northeast Ohio Club are going to have their big show for their spring, and they're having this guy right here, that Mr. Mike Zarnock, is going to be there.
Good looking guy.
He's going to be a guest along with a couple Mattel people. Rob Mathis and Charlie is going to be there as well. Rob and Charlie are going to be there. So that's going to be awesome. Shout out to the whole Northeast Ohio crew and Mike Bungie and Mike's Funhouse for making that happen for all of those folks. So those are the shout outs for that. I wondered if you were, Joe, and that's going to be awesome.
Eldorado is going to be cool.
Say hi to Barnes and them, and we're gonna. I hope you guys have a good time and get to see lots of pictures and whatnot. So shout out to those guys.
And Joe,
okay.
which one am I not supposed to show? No, you said don't show that. I don't know what I'm not supposed to show.
I don't know.
I didn't show the Regal that clearly. The Regal's kind of got a plain Jane look to it, but it's got some really cool pinstriping on it. Yeah, and it's got T-tops. So that's neat.
All right. So let's talk convention. Or do you want to rip another car?
I kind of want to rip this one. I've been chasing this guy for a minute now.
Well, go for it.
It's the 1970 Camaro RS, obviously, Ultra Hots, and it's in purple.
It's a nice car.
Yeah, I've been after this one, and I think I got it for like, I want to say $6 or $7. So that's the neat thing about a lot of these shows is you can find some pretty good deals. Let's see here. I think, if I remember correctly,
it should open.
I think it's an opening hood.
Oh, these dogs.
I can hear them.
Yeah, I think she's taking them out, and they get excited for that.
Yeah.
Good night,
have a good night, Scott. Thanks for
copping
in.
Copping in or hopping in?
Hopping in.
Kind of went side. I can't get the hood open.
So
I'll worry about the hood. It's in purple.
That's nice. That's pretty.
They could have big old meats on the back. Boy, good stuff.
All right. So we got in Tuesday, correct?
Well, last time I checked, yeah.
What was your first impression when we got in there? Because it was chaos.
That was my first thought when we walked in. It was absolute chaos. There was cars everywhere, and we didn't know where to go. And it was like the valet guys were great, and they were really helpful, and they unloaded everything great. Nothing got damaged. Everything made it to the room. Nothing got lost. The only problem is due to the height restrictions of the vehicle that we were driving, you had to lower the truck all the way down to get the proper clearance, and due to liability reasons, they would not park it. So we had to park the vehicle about 3.5 blocks away and walk in. But Poncho, what's up, bro? But the positive side about that was the garage ended up breaking, and we parked for free for the entire week. So, Poncho, since you missed it,
I think that's a better background.
it works. You just open that one, Poncho, and this one. You got to get this one if you ain't got this one, bro. Yeah, that was my first impression. It was like, what in the, because the where we parked at versus where the vehicle ended up at, it was just kind of strange. But it ended up being in a safe garage, and it was good. So it worked out really well. He said, "Put it in my box." No. Oh, I finally. No, no. I had it. Why is this? There we go. It does open.
Obviously, Tuesday getting checked in there
What's that
and
little
everything.
man?
Oh, there's little guy.
Look at that little guy.
It's always more important right now.
Oh, I hear you, man. Family
Word.
always is trumps everything. So, if you got to go, let us know and you can bounce out, man.
Yeah, I gotta get the
You don't
stuff.
have you don't have to entertain us with us for the next however long we'll be on here. Could be 15, 20 minutes. Could be an hour. Who knows?
Yeah, appreciate the being back on here. It was great,
Yeah.
No problem. Glad you could stop on in.
and I will see you guys Sunday.
All right, man.
Yep.
You have a good one, and we'll catch you in literally 2 days.
Yep.
All right, night.
Night.
All right. Bye.
It
Okay.
always comes first. So.
Yeah, I've got my microphone a little bit closer than I probably need it to be.
Well, hey, as long as the table's not making that weird rattly noise again, I'm good with it. So.
Yeah, Joe's saying that he can hear me super loud, and then
Well, that's
you're
'cause you have
super
a
quiet.
boom microphone right above your head. I'm using the ones off the side of my head. So.
I know. So yeah, I think that was the first adventure, was getting ourselves checked in, and then having two carts with different stuff all mixed together, and getting everything. Of course, we're on 11 and Deb is up on 16, so we're not anywhere near each other,
No.
and that was kind of crazy too. So
Yeah.
that was definitely different. I think once we got that settled, got our badges, the line process went pretty well, I think, as far as getting our badges.
Getting our badges was fine. Getting the cars was a train wreck. And
Yeah,
I
and
hate to
that
say that because they tried something new. It just you need to make
I don't
sure that the people running the line are. You need more people to run those lines.
I don't think it was so much the line itself, but it seemed like there were two of the three lines were moving much faster than the line what we were in. And it wasn't just some imagined thing too. It was, I would say, that's probably the one big downfall or negative I had of the entire convention, because the rooms are like, we can't control that.
No.
Once we got through that, I mean, even on Wednesday, it seemed to take way longer for folks to get through, and that's after the majority had kind of checked in already.
When I finally got my cars, I stood in a line of 3 people for at least 25 minutes, even though the other 2 lines had no one in them, and they were the people that were working there were just kind of standing there sitting there having conversations amongst each other, while I had to stand there and wait because they had specific, like what ticket 1 through blank was in one line, and then we'll just say there's 3,000 tickets. 1 through 1,000 was in the first line, or 1 through 99 or 999 was in the first one, and then 999 to 1999 was in the second line, and then 2,000 to 3,000 was in the last line. And for some reason, the beginning and the end were just like, and you were in and out. But the lines that I always was in the middle there, I just stood there and waited and waited and waited, and it was very frustrating because it was like, why can't they help us? They're not doing anything. Why can't they just help? But everybody had ticket designated checking off sheets, so that way they didn't give extra cars away to people, which I understand that. But we either got to get some more people to run those lines, or either there needs to be like 3 to 4 people, or they need to do it so that way. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe break the tickets down a little bit more.
Possibly do that, or just have. I don't know why we needed it to begin with. I hate to say that, because when at every convention I've been to before, you get your lanyard and you walk across and you get in the line and there's like 4 or 5 people. It doesn't matter which one you went to, and you were just like, I want all my cars. And they grabbed 6 and the patches and the pins and whatever else they had for that year, and they handed it to you in a bag and say, give us this much, and you gave them that much, and then you were out the door. And it seems like it flowed a lot faster, in my personal opinion, at least.
My sense of that was that
You could have Barb on. Yeah, Barb was a busy lady too.
what people were doing was they were taking their card front, right? Your event pass, and then they were taking it to a photocopy place, and then they were copying it.
Yeah. So
and then that,
blank.
yeah. So
right. This is the COVID. This is a COVID convention pass, but it's like, you have everything on the back, but if there is multiple IDs, even though I don't know how you would copy this to the point where somebody would look at this and go, oh, that's what that is. No.
Well, I mean, it's just like anything. You're trying to get through the line as quickly as you can, and
I get it.
They're doing as best as they can, just like all of us are. I think it was really to kind of prevent theft and people getting cars that we weren't supposed to.
I get it, but they just.
I do too.
They needed some more people on the teams to help out, because some of the two team people were running great. Some of them were not. It was either mixed up. It was either mixed up the staff or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We're kind of Monday morning quarterbacking it, but I would say was definitely one of the things I was more disappointed in, was how long it took me to get my actual cars. Not the cars themselves, just to get the cars.
Yeah.
And it was a big adjustment, I think. And I don't know what the answer is.
I don't know either. But it's doing something different.
So really, after that, we pretty much went shopping. And
that's when I got my bug. Oh.
Now, this was the first one that I got off my list. I was quite happy to get that, so we'll carnage that later. What were some of your other first impressions? I mean, the view outside was great. The weather was great all week.
Yeah, the weather was great. The view was absolutely stunning. It was in the busy downtown area. There was a lot of parks nearby. There was one park that was off to the side. I've seen a lot of people posting their pictures, and they had a lot of cool sculptures and stuff, so that was neat. Obviously, the arch, and there was the Capitol. I think it was the Capitol building, and then
it was the actual courthouse. Now that I learned about that,
and then there was a church down by the highway, or not highway, but I don't know, interstate or whatever you want to call it. But there was a lot of neat old buildings to look at, so that was fun. There was no short on things to look at while you're outside hanging out. The hotel staff was really great. Being as a smoker, we've been run off and stuffed in the corners before. They were really nice about it. When we were very respectful to them as well. It was pretty much worked out really well in that aspect. Trying to think what else. There was good food that was close by. It wasn't that far of a walk. I know that after certain timelines, you weren't going too far away from the hotel into downtown, because I'm not saying it was in a bad neighborhood, but it got a little sketchy in a couple of the areas. I know there was a parking garage that looked like it had been the center for tagging for quite some time.
Yes.
There was one guy that actually tagged every single floor of the parking garage on the outside of the building. So that was neat. But other than that, yeah, it was overall a good location, nice hotel. The beds were a little small.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, we didn't have an arch view room, and I can possibly pull this up.
We did have a view that was pretty cool, though.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's doing that, here is car number 1 of 3. We've already looked at 2 here tonight. This is the Corvette. Now, I didn't know this. There you go.
That was the view from our hotel room. It was nice.
Okay, so this is car number 1. Obviously, it's the Corvette. Now, what I didn't know was back in the day, the Corvette, one of the Corvette plants was in St. Louis. So this makes total sense why they picked a Corvette to be the convention car. Again, this is a C8 race. This is number 5131 of 6200. And it's got to be freed. We all know this. That went better. You know, say what you will about the choices of cars. I think there was a good mix here. Couple JDM, couple muscle cars, and then the Corvette.
Breathe.
Yes, breathe. Again, I like this color. Actually, it's not, looks way better in person, as they always do.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, it says St. Louis C8 on the back there. Probably too small to get a good picture of it. You know, so that was great. I thought that car was cool. Definitely different. Not one that I was expecting here. So that was the Corvette.
While you're thinking for a split, I'm going to open another one. Because I'm kind of on a lowrider theme tonight.
Yes, you are.
I got the 59 Bel Air from the West Coast Whips series. And this is going to be a train wreck to open because I don't have my pocket knife on me. Oh, no, never mind.
You don't actually need that. It's all tape.
I know, but I still don't have a pocket knife on me, so I can't cut the tape. So I have to try to get the tape off. And I managed to tear half my fingernail off since we got back, so that sucked. So I'm missing some of my thumb fingernail. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. I'm not going to drop this one. I don't know why I'm trying to drop everything tonight. No, Jeff on the paint job. That sucks. Didn't notice that. Probably couldn't see through the blister. But yeah.
I like that car.
The hood's got some funkiness going on it. I don't know if I can show that.
Oh, it's got some bubbles in there.
Yes, it does.
That's different.
Yeah.
You don't usually see that.
I'm not going to scratch them at them, though, because they'll come right off probably. But either way, gorgeous Impala. Always nice to add a new Impala to the fleet.
So that was pretty much Tuesday. We did a little bit of walking around waiting for people to get in. I would say this was probably one of the more later arriving ones that we've been to in terms of all of our friends getting in. It seemed like Wednesday, Thursday was the big day when most people got in, which is different. It's usually we're like one of the last ones to the party.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, they all normally drive too. So
this is very true.
We were the ones that got to drive, and they all had to fly.
So Wednesday, again, you know, in the morning it was pretty much go, 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 and a lot of hunting. Wednesday night, we had the opening reception, and we got our first round of e-sheets. So we'll kind of preview these here. Again, this is the one from Brendan. There we go. One of. So that was the first one. He did the Mustang there. Of course, Mike was at the end. This is the other one that Brendan had. This is the Lamborghini Miura. Yeah. This is pretty sweet.
I wish I could have gotten extra one of those.
This is not it. That's all I had. I know I had some more. And of course, Matt Gabe ended up coming later to the show. And I got one of these at like 2:00 in the morning, Friday or Saturday night, I think it was. And how that happened was, again, we kind of got separated out a little bit, and I was.
We didn't get separated. We separated. We divided and conquered. That's what we did.
Well, there you go.
Way
I was talking with Lee in his room, and Lee's like, "Let's go walk." Right? So we go walking, and we go to one guy's room, and he made a trade for some cars, and that was pretty cool to watch how that all went down. He got his first red line, and B, first carded red line. So that was pretty cool to see. And then Matt walks into that room, and while we're, that's going on, waiting for Lee to, get everything that he wants, I asked, Matt if he'd sign my badge, and he was kind enough to do that. And then he reaches into his bag and hands me the card back and signed that too. So that was really cool of him to do that. I was really happy about that as well. So that was pretty much the autograph session. Now, in the background of the autograph session, Collectors Events Unlimited had a video that was put together by Barb Robles. And in that video, it was a picture, video, and a couple of videos embedded separately of moments from the last 25 nationals. And there are some really great pictures of Mr. Barnes, Greg, Roy, and Chris Parker, Chris Walker, Barb's husband, and I'm drawing a blank right. Dave, thank you. Dave in there, Mike Strauss. There's early pictures of Mark and Jennifer. There's a few of us in there as well. So that was really cool to see that.
There was pictures of Joe Wiggins with brown hair and a brown goatee. I'm sorry, but I've never seen that man with nothing but gray, so it was kind of a neat thing to see. So it was definitely neat.
So that was really cool, and that they played that on a loop. Now, if you go to their page right now, you'll see that those videos have been broken up. I've shared a few. Barb said she was going to share a couple more yet, and then that'll be done. But, there was just one video that's straight nothing but pictures of past Nationals crew support staff together. And that was cool to see those. Also, there were, anybody and everybody that's ever been a part of this hobby. Mr. Zarnock's in there as well. So it was really cool to see all those. Marcia was in a couple as well, and then there were little kids and families, and it wasn't all about the big names. It was everybody, which was the cool part.
Definitely.
So that was pretty much Wednesday. Thursday, we did dinner. What else did we do on Thursday? Was there something else we did?
We videoed ourselves, or we did the videoing for the Hardy Adams Invitational, which was fun.
Yes.
The room was a little warm. The room was a little tiny. We didn't have our epic room hunter, Mr. Joe, with us this year, unfortunately. But it worked out. We raised, I want to say it was around $2,300 for charity.
Yeah.
And not all the cars got destroyed either, which was kind of different for me. We got to finally see Mr. Greg Sully hoist up the trophy with his little, I can't remember, he called it the wheeling around instead of his little Ferris wheel made out of the wheelchairs, which was really epic. And he was dedicated to Melanie, so that was kind of epic as well. We missed her. It wasn't the same without her. So hopefully they can get her on a plane next year, because I don't want to go 3 years without seeing Melanie, because that's if she's not coming to Dallas, we're just going to have to go there. So
yeah, that should happen. Let's see.
Finally found a nut. Exactly.
Yeah, he finally found a nut, and it was quite surprising that 4-time winner Roger Riley was out in the I don't even know if he made it past the first round or the second round, but
I want to say it was second when Roger
he went out. Yeah, he went out kind of early. So, and that was a shock, really. But it was hard to compete against that Ferris wheel. It was quite awesome. Yeah, that was his best work for sure.
Yeah, and it was dedicated to Melanie, so
how can you go wrong there?
Exactly.
We had a couple newcomers as well. I mean, Kraut Custom wasn't a new one, but Carly had a pretty cool design too, and that one managed to survive the hammer as well.
Yeah.
It was great to see.
Yeah, it was saved, and it was even entered into the custom show.
Yeah, it was great to see Coco smash a couple of car or two. That was pretty cool. And then the little girl, I didn't ever catch her name, but
I don't know either.
She was like bidding on one. She goes 200. I was like, everybody was set back and was like, what? And then she just obliterated that car.
Yeah, she was having more fun. I think she was having more fun smashing things. She actually wanted to smash Greg's Ferris wheel, but he goes, "I want to put it in the show, and then you can do whatever you want with it. But I want to enter it in the show for at least that." And she came and she hit him up the next day, and she goes, "I'll let you keep it. You build me one of my own." But she wanted pink and teal cars. Yeah. So I think Greg is going to make another carousel. So that's kind of cool. And I don't know if the second one will have wheels underneath the bottom, because many people didn't know is that entire thing actually rolled, and they actually demonstrated it during the Hardy.
Yeah.
When it was sitting in the custom contest, somebody was like, "That's so freaking cool," and I said, "And it's got wheels on it too," and they're like, "What?" And I only took my finger and went and I pushed it just a little bit, and it rolled. And I can't remember who was standing next to me. They're like, "Oh, that's just cool. That ups it way better." And they were like, "Why does it have wheels on it?" So I got to explain the Hardy to somebody. So,
that is the rules.
Who knows? Maybe next year we'll have some more people hanging out down there. So.
Yep. Of course, we were getting back into the newcomer. Obviously, that was Lee Allen, and he just made this epically long.
Like we'll
huge.
Go up and down. Like it was probably. Yeah. It was probably 2 to 3 feet long, so
at least, and it was patinaed, and it was just an amazing piece. It got up there, I think, around 200 or 300, or was it 4?
I want to say it was around 3. I think
300. That was the winning car, or the high bid. I think. Well, I don't know if it was a high bid, but it was. It survived. It did survive. It did go home and did not get smashed, which, that's pretty rare from what I'm understanding for a first-time entry not to get smashed after losing. And I was honestly kind of surprised that it didn't win. But again, with the Ferris wheel, how could you go wrong with that? So that was the Hardy for the most part. Kind of disappointed that we missed a couple seminars. We missed Mike's insurance one, and the collection management, which I think we both could use.
My collection is managed just perfectly. That's why I found another car. Let's see, it should have been smashed on GP for being a new guy. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I totally agree. And I think and Thompson was doing a deal, so he wasn't down there either. So, but yeah, we need to get everybody back together next year and get some smashing done.
Yeah, there were a lot of cars that survived this year, and is the other thing that was weird. There was no booing either, and
I know. I was kind of bummed.
That was
my first year. I bought a car and I got booed instantly. Everybody else buys a car and they get a round of applause. I was like, this is not right. Where's the booing at? Not that I need the booing, but it's I felt.
So again, we'd like to thank the Hardy Adams folks for letting us film that as usual, and Dave Rice did a great job as well, filming from a different angle.
Put him to work.
Yeah, I mean, Ian, Brent, you did an awesome job getting the up close angles, and I got the still shot as well. So that was Thursday night, and of course, dinner. We had to go to dinner. And for those who haven't seen yet, this is the dinner car. This was a Nissan Skyline, or excuse me, Nissan GTR from 2009. This is one of the first cars that Kevin Cow actually worked on. His first licensed one of the first licensed diecast cars he worked on. So, packaging art was again done with coordination from Julian Coils, so that's cool to see that. And this is just, kind of things that Kevin did. He explained what everything meant on the car, which was really cool to see that. And if there's a video of it somewhere, I think it will explain it. I don't remember everything, but this was cool in that aspect. So this was number 3283 of 4200.
And while you liberate that, my collection management is perfectly fine. I only had 3 of the same car all on the wall at one point. Now we're down to 1, and 2 of them are going with me on Sunday for sale. But I had 3 of the same car on the wall.
All right, and there is the GTR. This is another car I think once it's out of the package and people get to look at it up close in person, they're going to find that this is a really, really nice car, really done well.
Yeah.
And this says
there is an N4004 OG toy number is what is on the hood. The 2000s trend was a lot of chrome interiors, so that's why he went with the chrome interior. The color scheme, which was the gray, blue, and orange, were Hot Wheels track builder colors, which he had a lot of part in. The 40 on the... We're just going to turn... Because what side is the steering wheel on?
This is a right-hand drive car.
Okay, so right-hand drive, so the right side would be the steering. Okay, so there's a number 40 on the rear quarters there. That is his current age. There is something looks like right above the track loop there, and that is Hot Wheels in Japanese.
Yep.
Him and Mark Jones collabed on the wheels. And then what would be the left side of the car has the Hot Wheels loop logo. 2007, which is the year that he started working for Mattel. And his nickname was the license plate. And
it says "Holy Cow," CAO.
Yeah. But yeah, he actually, to make it easier for everybody that was looking at the car, he actually made a little spreadsheet to actually show you what everything was. And and when he explained it, I took a picture of it. And then at dinner, he got a really sweet car.
Yeah, he did.
Ooh. Little Lee Allen work there. The man, the
Lee
myth, legend.
And Angela, they both worked on that together. This was something else I had learned too about Mr. Cow, was that he had been he started out there as an intern, and then he transitioned into a permanent job, and this has been his only job, I believe, with Mattel. So he's just worked in different areas and different divisions. So that was pretty cool to see that for him as well. Super nice guy. I only got to talk to him in the autograph lines, but he's super nice, pretty personable. Get a chance to meet him, I'd say yes, go ahead and do it.
Definitely.
So, that was the dinner thing. Now, you got a sweet little Code 3 car, didn't you?
Did.
You got a Dodge 330, didn't you?
Yeah, I got the silver Dodge 330 Code 3 from dinner. It's upstairs. I have not unpacked fully yet, so.
Well, you've got a year yet.
I might need it sooner than that, but you never know. But yeah, I will get it unpacked probably this weekend. I have a short list of things to do this weekend, and unpacking the suitcase is on that list. So who knows? Maybe we'll have everything picked up and put away before this weekend. So.
Okay, so that's pretty much what Thursday was. Friday, again, continued shopping as we always do. We sat in on the Blue Card seminar, which was always educational.
No, Blue Card was Saturday.
Was that Saturday?
Blue Card was Saturday because Friday night was the guy's pizza, and
Yeah, that's right.
I asked Willie. I said, "Hey, Dad, what time do we got to be up in the morning?" Because he told me that we had to be there. He goes, "I'm starting at 11:15," because that was so after dinner Friday night was that the Hardy Friday night? No, Hardy was Thursday. What did we do Friday night?
It was Guy's Pizza because Roy had said they've only done Guy's Pizza on a Friday night one other time, and that was in Dallas, but that was for other reasons.
Yes, Guy's Pizza was Friday night. You are correct. So yeah. Oh, the auction. The auction was Friday night.
Yes, so
that's what it was.
Yeah, that's
right. I was like, what are we missing here? Yeah, because Friday morning was the chapter.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Meeting. So okay, all right. Trying to think about it.
It runs together so bad sometimes.
100%.
The chapter meeting was great, I thought. I've never seen it that full before. I think Carl came up with a great idea for the club car exchange and then the club car donation or ROK for the charity auction. And those two ideas were really, really awesome. I'm glad he came up with them. And it was great to hear from everybody. We had folks from obviously the Baltimore, Northeast Ohio, the Indy, Windy City. There was a club from Australia, one from Washington State, in northern top of Iowa, us, Capital City, all Iowa. Northland was there as well. SOMO, which is Southern Missouri. All those guys were there, and then some. Southern New Hampshire, can't forget TCAT. Nope. And it was just great input and dialogue and everything like that from everybody as well. Good points were made by everybody. I don't think there was anything that was specifically mentioned. I think it was more of how do we keep growing? How do you grow a chapter? How do you keep maintaining that? And the not the MoCan, but the T-Town folks, Kim and those guys sat there and talked about including kids into the racing. And that was a huge, huge point of emphasis, I think, for a lot of clubs. So, that was pretty cool as well. Then we did get the combi and we got one from the Beckley, West Virginia club too. So that's where our car went, or that's what we got. I don't know who ended up getting our
Mustang, or no,
not the Mustang. It was a Cyclone.
Yeah, it was a Cyclone. It was the last Cyclone we had.
Yep. So
I think there might be one more. I think I've got it upstairs. Anyway.
And then, Friday night we did the charity auction. Obviously, Nick's car did really well. Brian Nitcher's did well as too. Mm-hmm. So Kelly Bright had a good car. So did Stangler. So did Carly. I mean, everybody knocked this out of the park.
No, 100%.
Mike Campbell had a car in there as well. So did Stangler too. So shout out to every one of those. If I miss somebody, it's not intentional.
Marsha.
And Marsha had one. Yep.
There was 26 total rocket oils that were done for the show. So there was and there was everything from mild to wild. So it was really neat to see just simple wheel swaps to literally grafting different cars onto the rocket oil to lowered ones. They built some that had dioramas, and overall it was great. They all did an amazing job, and a whole bunch of money was raised for charity, and 26 people got new cars for their collections, so it worked out really well.
Yep, I totally agree. Now, the big I guess the big one that drove most of the night was obviously the last item, which was the Typhoon.
Yeah, yeah. The Typhoon went a little on the insanity side. Um, I believe the final hammer bid on that car was $2,900, and it was a resin 3D printed Typhoon. So that was something that I don't know if it's been done before. I was gonna show my Typhoon, but I just realized I have never ripped my Typhoon.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy that lost out was very disappointed. He was.
It was not meant to be. Excuse
It
me.
just
Oh
wasn't
my
meant
God.
to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a true Hollywood story right there.
exactly.
And then, of course, Saturday is you're trying to recover and get everybody there. Just try to make it to the final finale. Was great. We got the Dodge. Got to see a lot of great cool cars coming down. I think the RLC line is going to be putting out some really cool stuff. Um, I did see more of a push for European cars than anything else. And I did see, although there wasn't a lot of uh, American cars in there, but the ones that were in there were just really awesome and stuff they hadn't seen before, and a throwback a little bit too at the same time. So where the may have been quantity with the JDM side of the house, it was more quality on the American side of the house. I think that'd be a fair statement, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would agree. It seemed like there was going that route. I don't know. I'm still jacked up about that Pro Street Nova though. So that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. I mean, I love the Novas, and to have a Pro Street style with the actual removable front clip, which kind of has the throwback to like the Grand Nationals. It's with the front ends be able to pop off, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, there was a lot of German cars, and with the Ferrari coming back, they had to throw out all the new Ferraris and stuff, and good luck, Kent, because I'm not going to be chasing down some of those because to me, yes, it's a Ferrari, yes, it's cool. Do I need it? No. I wouldn't mind getting the transport because I really like that Fiat truck the new transport truck that they're coming out with. That was really neat. But like the Ferrari Chase and stuff that's going to be out soon, it doesn't, it's not something I'm super worried about. So
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. That's going to be a nightmare.
mm-hmm, it is.
Okay, so we got one last convention car to rip for the night. And it's not intentional that I saved this for last. It just happens to be the car that I grabbed last.
Sure. Oh, I can't stop
Number
yawning. I'm sorry.
1905 of 6200. This is the Nissan 240SX, or otherwise known as the S14. Of the Sylvias, I would have rather have had the S15, just a personal choice. So we'll get this guy open, and you've got one more, and then I had one more thing to share with everybody. It had not been posted yet. Just a pretty clean black car with a couple Nissan logos and a Hot Wheels logo, and it says St. Louis 240 on it. So, oh, wow.
Well, I got to end up on some muscle cars. But yeah, I have 3 left over. I'll save those 2 for the end because I really want to open this one. This one is the Pontiac GTO in silver from the Cool Customs.
I like that car.
Yes, I do as well. And now I got to figure out how to figure things. Trying to see how they open up here because some of these are different than others. So, no, not the clear window. Oh, I got lucky. Got to slide out the interior sleeve just to get to the car.
Which I like because then paint doesn't rub.
Mm-hmm. It's just this very simple, clean hood. Does not open GTO. Just a just a really clean GTO. I
Yeah,
like the
I like
silver
that.
with this. It's very simple, but it's very stunning. It's very sleek and it looks really good.
As he rolls and nobody can see.
Sorry, I was playing with it. Here, we'll put it up here so you can see it roll.
There we go.
Roll.
Yay!
And then, so do you have anything else to rip, or are you done ripping?
Well, there is a couple other cars I'd like to rip.
We've only got about 10 minutes because I actually have somewhere I have to be tonight. So
Well,
we cannot do this all night long.
No.
So this one was pretty neat because I found this one first, and this is I believe it's the 67 or 66 as they call it. It is the 383 Dodge Charger. So that made me. I really like this car. My really good friend, her dad actually owns a red one that looks really similar to this silver one that I'm currently grabbing this out of. He has a red 67, I believe. But there's that.
Again, that's super sharp, super clean.
Yeah, just in silver, just looks good. I wish they would have put a little bit bigger tires on it. I feel like they kind of shortchanged the tires on this one, considering the fact that the GTO's got the nice big old meats on it, but the
I would have rather had those 5 spokes on there than.
Well, I'm not talking about the rims. I'm talking about the tire size. And my last rip of the night will be again the Charger, but in honor. Bam. We have the red one. And this is almost identical to his car, so this is kind of cool. And I'm surprised that it didn't get stolen from me when I was packing up my stuff, because I'm pretty sure she would love to give that to her dad. So, and there's the red version. So, and it is also a 383, which I don't know why. I mean, considering the fact that the car doesn't have an opening hood, why couldn't we throw 426 on the side of that? Just saying.
Nobody's going to notice.
Nope. All right. Well, I'm done ripping cars for the night.
Okay, so while we always go down and we got Big Blue that goes with us, and he makes road trips and is our official mascot. I got given something on Sunday.
Yeah, that's mine, by the way, you duck thief.
No, not. This is mine. She gave that to me.
Oh, okay.
No. So Big Blue got a brother, an adopted brother. And here is Little Blue. So we now have Big Blue and Little Blue. And we have to give a big shout out to Barb for this. She's the one that came up with this and gave it to me Sunday morning. And I love it. I think it fits in perfectly. So we don't know when he'll make his first official presence or not. I don't know. But that's Blue. Okay, that's all that I have for this week. Next week, we got a pretty big show, don't we?
I'm sure. I don't know if you've told me this yet or not.
Well, we've been working on this for a little bit now.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And we are going to have Tammy Stangler on from Diecast Divas, actually, is what's going to be on. It's Diecast Divas. It's going to be her and another lady. And they're going to talk about women and collecting and what it's like from their perspective. So they're our guest next week for that. And then after that, we're going to try to reached out to and finalize some other folks. And we'll announce those as they come up, but one of them is from the East Coast. One of them is from Kansas, but I definitely am looking forward to having Tammy on. She is super, super excited about the show and promoting the Diecast Divas brand. She was so excited when she found out about it and had the chance to be on and do this. So this will be different for us. You want to join us, obviously, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bring your questions. because we wanted this to be as interactive as possible for everybody, and we want it to be fun because that's what this hobby is about. All right, that's all I had for tonight. You got anything else for?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Okay, so if you're in the Northeast Ohio area, go check out the Northeast Ohio Diecast Show. I think it's at the Berea Fairgrounds. If you don't know where that's at, go get in touch with one of those guys out there. If you're in our area, to include Sioux Falls to Kansas City, Des Moines to Kearney, Topeka to
Our area.
Minneapolis,
Our area.
come to Lincoln. Superior Bingo Hall. Brad BB puts on a great show.
Yeah.
He's going to be out there hosting an event for us from 9 to 2. This is a non-club show, so no club rules are in effect here. So have fun. Be nice to each other. Find some stuff. Put it up on the page. And if you want to be a guest, please let us know. We'll get you on. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button because we could use it.
Always.
And we appreciate you all. Look forward to seeing the combi on the page for sale. All right. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.